Cobalah belajar, ajari telinga kita untuk ikhlas. Ajari telinga kita untuk ikhlas. Apa maksud telinga kita untuk ikhlas? Maksudnya telinga kita ini belajar mendengar sesuatu itu karena Allah, bukan karena kita, bukan karena orang lain. Kalau karena kita hanya mau mendengar sesuatu yang menyenangkan hati kita. Kalau karena orang lain, kita mendengar orang-orang yang menurut kita respect. Menurut kita orangnya keren. Kalau misalnya orangnya kita sebel, kita nggak mau dengar. Tapi dengarlah karena Allah. Kalau karena Allah, asalkan itu kebaikan dan kebenaran, kita terima dari siapapun, dari musuh sekalipun. Apa kata Nabi? Terimalah kebaikan walaupun keluarnya dari mulut seorang budak Habasyah. Artinya, bukan karena siapa yang ngomong, bukan seperti apa ucapannya, tetapi intinya adalah kebaikan, dengarkan saja. Dan itu bukan mengkritik kita, itu justru sesuatu yang baik buat kita. Nahnu ahaqqu bihadza. Kaum muslimin lebih berhak menerima kebaikan ini daripada orang lain. Sehingga terima kebaikan itu dari siapapun. Gak boleh sombong.
Our ears to be sincere. What do our ears mean to be sincere? It means that our ears learn to hear something because of Allah. Not because of us, not because of other people. If because of us, we only want to hear something that pleases us. If because of others, we hear people we think we respect. We think they are cool people. If, for example, we think the person is annoying, we don't want to hear it. But listen for the sake of Allah, if for the sake of Allah, as long as it is goodness and truth. We accept it from anyone, from the enemy thought. What the Prophet said, accept goodness, even if it comes from the mouth of a Habasha slave. It means it's not because of who said it, not what he said, but the point of that it's good to just listen, and that's not criticizing us. It's actually something good for us. نحن أحق بهذا. Muslims are more entitled to receive this kindness than anyone else. So accept it from anyone. Don't be arrogant.
Jangan sampai kita mengingkari kebenaran dan kebaikan hanya gara-gara kebenaran dan kebaikan itu keluar dari orang yang menurut kita lebih rendah daripada kita. Jangan sampai kita menolak suatu kebaikan hanya gara-gara kebaikan itu ditampakkan oleh orang yang menurut kita nggak baik. Menurut kita nggak baik. Padahal belum tentu menurut Allah kayak gitu. Jangan sampai seorang istri menolak nasihat dari suaminya yang menurut istrinya, suaminya belum menjadi seorang suami yang solih. Jangan sampai seorang suami menolak kebaikan dari istrinya karena hanya berpikir istrinya belum taat kepada suaminya. Terimalah kebaikan dari siapapun, bahkan dari mulut seorang budak Habasyah atau dari musuh sekalipun. Budak Habasyah itu agamanya bukan agama Islam. Bukan agama Islam, budak pula dan bukan orang Arab. Jadi secara status sosial di masyarakat Arab itu jauh beda dengan orang Arab, Quraisy, Ahlul Bait. Tetapi tetap diterima yang namanya kebaikan dari siapapun juga.
Do not let us deny the truth and goodness just because the truth and goodness comes from people who are lower than us. Don't let us reject something good just because it's shown by people who don't think it's good. We don't think it's good. Although not necessarily according to God like that. Lest a wife reject the advice of her husband, who according to his wife, her husband has not become a pious husband. Do not let a husband reject the kindness of his wife, because he only thinks his wife has not obeyed her husband. Accept kindness from anyone, even from the mouth of slaves, Habasha, or from an enemy. Habasha's slave is his religion, not Islam. It's not Islam, slaves, and not Arabs. So, the social status in Arab society is much different from the Quraysh Ahlul Bait Arabs, but they are still accepted. Whose name is kindness from anyone?
Kita belajar dari semua orang, kita menerima kritik dari semua orang, Nggak ada cerita saya seorang guru maka saya nggak boleh dikritik oleh muridnya. Bahkan seorang nabi pun dikritik oleh para sahabat dan beliau nggak marah. Siapa sahabat yang pernah mengkritik nabi? Habis-habisan kritiknya. Umar masuk Islamnya belakangan lagi tuh. Kalau Abu Bakar masih mending, kalau Khadijah masih mending. Ini Umar yang masuk Islamnya tuh setelah Nabi berdoa lama baru masuk Islam. Yang di masa jahiliyahnya pernah minum khamar, dosanya macam-macam. Kritik Nabi, ya Rasulullah, keras suaranya di depan Nabi. Sampai Allah sendiri yang menurunkan ayat, ya ayyuhalladzina amanu la tarfa'u aswatakum fawqa sautin nabi. Janganlah kalian mengangkat suara kalian di hadapan Rasul melebihi suara Rasul.
We learn from everyone, we accept criticism from anyone. No story, I'm a teacher, so I can be criticized by student. Even a prophet was criticized by the companion and he was not angry. Who was the friend who criticized the prophet? Exhaustive criticism. Omar converted to Islam later. If Abu Bakar was still better off, if Khadijah is still cool. Umar, who converted to Islam after the Prophet prayed for a long time, just converted to Islam, which in the period of ignorance only ever drank Homer, the sins of all kinds. The Prophet's criticism, Ya Rasulullah, was louder in front of the Prophet until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself repeated the verse. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu la tarfa'u aswatakum fawqa sautin nabi. Do not raise your voice in front of the apostle, above the voice of the apostle.
Tapi Rasul nggak marah. Allah yang mengajari mereka etika, tetapi Rasul nggak jadi baper gara-gara itu. Kenapa? Karena kalau itu emang niatnya baik, Umar berpendapat bukan karena marah ke Rasul. Umar berpendapat walaupun dia nggak setuju dengan Rasul, itu pasti karena Allah. Umar setuju dan nggak setuju, itu karena Allah. Kenapa? Karena Umar itu zahir dan batinnya sama. Zahir dan batinnya sama. Kalau dia zahir nggak setuju karena Allah, berarti batinnya juga gitu. Nggak ada munafik nggak ada dzi wajhain. Tidak ada bermuka dua di dalam diri Umar bin Khattab. Dia orangnya terus terang gitu. Sehingga Rasulullah paham banget karakter Umar. Umar mah karena dia nggak setuju, pasti nggak setujunya karena Allah, bukan karena dia nggak enak sama saya, karena dia ada masalah sama saya, enggak. Pernah Umar dengan Abu Bakar tuh kayak gitu. Abu Bakar ngusulin sesuatu, Umar bilang, menurut saya nggak kayak gitu ya Rasul. Baper Abu Bakar, tersinggung, nggak easy going. Akhirnya Abu Bakar bilang, Umar, kamu kayaknya seneng banget beda sama saya, kata Abu Bakar. Kata Umar, enggak, saya emang kayak gini pendapat saya, tapi kamu selalu membantah saya, nggak pernah sama pendapat kita. Ramai itu di depan Rasulullah. Akhirnya turun lagi ayat, ya ayyuhalladzina amanu la tarfa'u aswatakum. Jangan lagi kalian bersuara keras di depan Nabi. Bertaubat lagi.
But the apostle wasn't angry. Good thought them ethics, but the apostle didn't get angry because of that. Why? Because if it's a good intention, Umar thought it was not because he was angry with the apostle. Omar thought even though he did not agree with the apostle, it must be because of Allah. Umar agreed and disagreed it because of Allah. Why? Because Umar is Zahir and his mind is the same. Zahir and his mind are the same. If Zahir doesn't agree because of Allah, it means that his mind is like that too. There is no hypocrisy. There is no fi wajhain. There is no duplicity in Umar bin Khattab. He is the person frankly speaking. So, that the Prophet understood Umar's character very well. Umar didn't agree. He definitely didn't agree because of Allah. Not because he didn't like me, because he has a problem with me. No, Umar wants with Abu Bakar like that. Even raise or suggest something, Umar said, I don't think so, O Apostle. Abu Bakar was immediately offended. Not easygoing, finally said, Umar, you seem very happy to be different from me, said Abu Bakar. Umar said, No, I'm like this, my opinion. But you always argue with me. You never agree with us. The noise was in front of Rasulullah. Finally came down again to verse. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu la tarfa'u aswatakum. Don't speak loudly in front of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Repeat again.
Pernah ngalamin kayak gitu juga sahabat? Insaniyatus sahabah, sisi-sisi manusiawinya para sahabat. Tapi ketika mereka udah paham, Umar pernah dikritik lebih keras dari ini, tapi nggak sampai membawa perasaan. Ketika Umar jadi Amirul Mukminin, Khalifah, Presiden, bayangin yang mengkritiknya seorang mantan budak, Bilal bin Rabah. Ngebantah terus, Umar ngeluarin satu undang-undang, dibantah sama Bilal. Umar ngeluarin keputusan presiden, dibantah sama Bilal. Pokoknya Bilal ini ngebantah Umar aja terus. Sampai Umar bilang ini apa? Kata Umar, ya Allah aku berlindung kepadamu dari Bilal. Sampai ngomong gitu coba. Saking kerasnya bantahan Bilal kepada Umar. Sampai Umar bilang, ya Allah aku berlindung kepadamu dari Bilal. Tapi Umar gak marah sama Bilal. Cuma udah gak tahan lagi gitu. Saking terus menerus gitu. Dalam keadaan bertubi-tubi terus menerus. Deketan lagi waktunya. Terus aja Bilal ngebojokin Umar. Sampai Umar terpojok banget. Sampai Umar bilang, ya Allah aku berlindung kepadamu dari Bilal. Ini artinya mereka mah orangnya easy going banget.
Have you ever experienced something like that, friends? Human, it's Sahaba, the human side of friends. But when they understand, Umar has been criticized more severely than this, but not to the point of killing, when Umar became Amirul Mukminin Caliph. The president imagines criticizing him a former slave, Bilal bin Rabah, constantly denying it. Umar issues a law that was refuted by Bilal. Umar issues a presidential decree which was denied by Bilal. Instead of going viral, it's just denying Umar. Then, until Umar said what this is, Umar said, Oh Allah, I take refuge in you from Bilal. Until he said that. Try, because Bilal's rebuttal was so loud to Umar. Until Umar said, Oh Allah, I take refuge in you from Bilal. But was not angry with Bilal. I just can't stand it anymore because it keeps going like that. And instead of constant closeness, again, it's time just keep on cornering Umar until Umar is cornered. Until Umar said, Oh Allah, I take refuge in you from Bilal. This means they are very easygoing people.
Pernah Umar di depan para jamaah habis sholat kan zaman dulu mah presiden, dia juga ulama, dia juga imam sholat ya. Habis ngimamin sholat, Umar berdiri kemudian mengumumkan satu pengumuman. Gara-gara ada pengaduan dari salah seorang perempuan, dari seorang laki-laki yang ngadu dia jomblo, udah tua masih jomblo. Ditanya sama Umar, kenapa kamu masih ngejomblo? Kamu jomblo fisabilillahnya istiqomah dan al-latif ya gitu. Kata dia, enggak, saya mah nggak jomblo bukan yang nggak mau nikah, bukan terlalu selektif. Tetapi mahar-mahar perempuan sekarang mahal-mahal, wahai Amirul Mukminin. Saya bukan orang kaya, nggak sanggup membayar mahar perempuan. Walaupun hadisnya sebaik-baik perempuan yang paling murah maharnya, tetapi namanya manusia kadang-kadang menganggap dirinya, saya kan keren, jadi mahar saya mah 2 miliar gitu misalnya. Saya aja suka bercanda sama istri saya, karena bercanda doang sih nggak serius. Anak saya menurut saya adalah bidadari saya, my angel gitu. Jadi saya bilang ke istri saya, nanti mahar dia tuh paling murah 4 miliar ya. Saya 3 miliar, kamu setengah miliar, dia setengah miliar, jadi saya dapat 3 miliar gitu-gitu. Jadi dicandain, maharnya mahal-mahal.
Once, Umar was in front of the congregation after praying. In the past, the president was also a cleric. He was also a prayer priest. After leading the prayers, Umar stood up and made an announcement because there was a complaint from a woman and a man who complained. He is single. He is old and still single. Asked Umar, "Why are you still single?" "You are single? Fi sabilillah. Istiqomah and al-latif, yes?" he said. "No, I'm not single. It's not that. I don't want to get married. I'm not just like Tiff, but women's drawings are now expensive. Oh, Amirul Mu'minin, I'm not a rich person. I can't afford to pay high prices for women. Even though that hadith is the best woman is the cheapest one. But her name is humans sometimes think they will be cool. So my dowry has to be 2 billion. For example, I just like to joke with my wife because I'm just joking seriously. I think her child is my angel like that. So I told my wife that the dowry will be 4 billion at the most. I am 3 billion, you are half a billion, he is half a billion. So I get 3 billion like that. So from the joke, the dowry is expensive.
Kalau teman-teman pergi ke Mesir, orang Mesir itu rata-rata nikahnya di atas 35 tahun. Kenapa? Sukses dulu baru bisa nikah, saking mahalnya mahar orang Mesir. Makanya saya nggak punya istri orang Mesir. Maharnya mahal banget. Apa maharnya? Harus punya 1 bungalow, mobil, kemudian emasnya itu sampai ditaruh dari ujung pergelangan tangan tuh sampai di siku tangan. Penuh berapa kilogram? Setengah kilo. Ngadulah nih seorang sahabat ke Umar, "Ya Amirul Mukminin, sekarang maharnya terlalu mahal dan segala macam. Saya tidak bisa menikah." Akhirnya Umar menjadi marah karena dia presiden, dia tinggal ngubah hukum aja. Ketika dia selesai soal, dia katakan, "Wahai kaum muslimin, mulai sekarang saya akan buat peraturan bahwa mahar tidak boleh melebihi sekian dinar. Siapa yang selama ini maharnya sudah melebihi sekian aturan yang saya buat, maka kembalikanlah kepada laki-laki yang membayar mahar." Sebutlah misalnya 1 dinar. Siapa yang selama ini dapat mahar lebih dari 1 dinar, maka dia kembalikan sisanya kepada suaminya atau laki-lakinya. Seorang sahabiat mengangkat tangan, perempuan, dari belakang, dan itu kelihatan. Artinya masjidnya masih belum ada pembatas. Baru ada pembatas masjid di zaman masjid dalam Islam itu akhir-akhir ini. Dulu di zaman Rasul, di zaman sahabat, nggak ada pembatas laki-laki dan perempuan, hanya perempuan agak belakangan biar beda dengan laki-laki.
If among friends go to Egypt, Egyptians have a marriage certificate over 35 years. Why? Successful first before being able to get married. Because the Egyptian dowry was expensive. That's why I don't have an Egyptian wife. The dowry is very expensive. What is the dowry? Must have a bungalow, a car, then a gold is placed from the tip of the wrist to the elbow. Full hands, how many? Half a kilo. A friend complained to Umar, "Yes, Amirul Mu'minin, though the dowry is too expensive and I can get married for all kinds of things." Umar finally became angry. Because he was the president, he just had to change the law. When he finished he said, "Oh Muslims, from now on I will make a rule that the dowry should not exceed a few dinars. Whoever so far has had more than the dowry that I have made, then return it to the man who paid dearly. Say, for example, 1 dinar, whoever has received an expensive dowry of more than 1 dinar. Then he returns the rest to his husband or male." A friend raised a woman's hand from behind and was visible, meaning that the mosque still doesn't have a barrier. There is a mosque bedroom in the mosque era these days. In the past, the era of the apostle, the era of France, there were no boundaries between men and women. Only women are a bit later to be different from men.
Lalu dia mengangkat tangan. Umar mengatakan, ada apa? Dia mengatakan, ya Amirul Mukminin, bagaimana engkau akan mengatakan sesuatu yang bertolak belakang dengan Al-Quran? Gimana maksud kamu? Allah berfirman dalam Al-Quran, setelah kamu memberikan mahar kepada istri-istrimu, janganlah kamu mengambil lagi mahar itu dengan jalan apapun. Inginkah kamu mengambil api neraka ke dalam perutmu? Akhirnya Amirul Mukminin dimarahin sama perempuan itu. Apa kata Umar? Banyak orang yang lebih fakih daripada Umar bin Khattab. Coba, nggak baper kan? Easy going kan? Banyak orang yang lebih ngerti agama daripada saya. Ya udah, saya tarik lagi, nggak jadi peraturannya. Coba, presiden coba, bisa kayak gitu. Namanya kebenaran, terima aja. Kalau emang kita salah, kenapa kita mau gaya-gayaan? Ngakuin aja kesalahan kita. Udah, akhirnya tarik lagi peraturannya, nggak jadi. Sesungguhnya siapa yang memurahkan mahar, maka itu baik. Yang sudah mahal ya udahlah gitu. Jadi kayak gitu peraturannya. Jadi nggak tegas gitu peraturannya. Awalnya tegas banget, tiba-tiba jadi toleran.
Then he raised his hand. Umar said, "What is it?" He said, "Oh Amirul Mukminin, how can you say something that contradicts the Quran?" "What do you mean?" Allah says in the Quran, after you give the dowry to your wives, "Do not take the dowry again in any way. Do not want to take hellfire into your belly." Scolded by the woman. What did Umar say? Many people are more fakih than Umar bin Khattab. Do you think it's okay? Is he going right? Many people understand religion better than I do, so I've withdrawn it. So it's not a rule. Try the president. Try to do something like that. The name is the truth. Just accept it if we are wrong. Why do we want to be stylish? Just admit our mistakes. We finally withdrawn the rules. It doesn't work. Indeed, whoever gives a dowry, it's a good, which is already expensive, so be it. So the rules are like that. So the rules are strict. At the first, they are very strict. Then suddenly, they become tolerant.
Siapa yang memurahkan maharnya, maka dia itu kebaikan. Siapa yang mahal, itu mah terserah. Sampai kayak gitu. Terjadi lagi di zaman Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Mungkin sebagian ibu-ibu udah pernah dengar ceritanya. Ada seorang sahabat, saya lupa namanya. Dan kalaupun saya ingat, mungkin gak perlu disebutkan juga namanya. Karena ini salah satu adegan yang lucu. Ada seorang sahabat jadi kayak gubernur gitu di sebuah wilayah Islam. Namanya dulu mungkin masih sedikit ulama, jadi dia gubernur, dia ulama juga. Masyarakat minta fatwa kepada gubernur. Datang kepada gubernur, "Pak, saya mau minta fatwa." Seorang laki-laki dengan istrinya. "Fatwa apa?" "Gini Pak, saya itu minum susu istri saya," kata dia. "Terus gimana nih status saya sebagai suami? Apakah jadi terputus sehingga saya jadi anak susu dari istri saya?" Coba gitu pertanyaannya. Ini pertanyaan fikih ya, ini bukan vulgar. Emang kayak gitu ceritanya. Saya minum susu istri saya, sehingga apakah dengan demikian saya sudah menjadi anak susuan? Kalau jadi anak susuan kan berarti saya udah nggak jadi suami dia lagi, jadi anak susuan. Beda statusnya gitu. Sahabat ini bingung. Akhirnya dia, "Oh iya, kalau gitu kamu udah jadi anak susuan dia, berarti kalian sudah cerai nih, udah nggak bisa lagi. Kalian jadi ibu dan anak." "Oh gitu ya?" "Ya gitu." Kayak seorang ustadz ditanya nggak tahu dalilnya, asal jawab aja gitu.
Whoever gives his dowry generously, then he is good. He is expensive, is up to you. Until like that. Happened it again in the time of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Maybe some others have heard this story. There is a friend, I forgot his name, and even I remember, maybe his name doesn't even need to be mentioned, because this is one of the funny scenes. There was a friend who became like the governor in an Islamic area. His name used to be a bit of a cleric. So he was the governor. He was a cleric too. The people asked the governor for a fatwa. Came to the governor. Sir, I want to ask for a fatwa for a man and his wife. What fatwa? Look, sir, I think my wife's milk, he said. And what about my status as a husband? Did it become disconnected so that I become a child according to my wife? Try that question. This is a question of fiqhiyah. This is not vulgar. That's how the story goes. I think my wife's milk, so I am a sacred then. If I become a nursing child, my husband will no longer be a nursing child. The status is different, right? This difference is confused. Finally, then you've become her suckling child. Yes, it means that if it's like this, you can't do it anymore by being a mother or a child. Oh, yes. Yes, when Ustad was asked, he didn't know the reason, as long as he just answered like that.
Udah ya gitu. Akhirnya karena udah dibilang kayak gitu, dia pulang dengan sedih suami istri. Ya, kita mah jadi anak sama ibu ya gitu. Masih mending saya kan adik kakak, ini mah anak ibu. Statusnya lebih pahit lagi tuh, itu udah sakit banget tuh statusnya. Sakitnya tuh di mana-mana gitu. Melihat istrinya, dulu manggilnya Yayang, Bebeb apalah istilahnya ya. Sekarang manggilnya Bu, Yana gitu. Enak banget tuh, gara-gara salah fatwa. Udah difatwain gitu, akhirnya pulang sedih, udah nggak bisa lagi apa-apain, bukan lagi suami istri, udah sedih banget. Tiba-tiba berita ini terdengar ke seorang sahabat di Madinah, dia ahli Al-Quran namanya Abdullah bin Mas'ud, yang hafal 1 juz hanya dengan sekali dengar langsung hafal. Ilmunya banyak banget, Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Abdullah bin Mas'ud mendengar ini langsung mengatakan, Innalillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Ini musibah. Langsung dia pergi ke negeri itu, dia memperbaiki keadaan di sana. Dia langsung datang ke gubernurnya. Apa yang sudah kamu fatwakan? Kata dia, emang masalahnya apa? Ada yang bertanya, katanya ibu susu dan segala macam. Ya emang kayak gitu. Nah, mana dalil kamu? Nggak tahu, menurut saya sih kayak gitu. Coba. Dimarahin sama Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Di depan pejabat-pejabatnya, di depan pegawainya, di depan orang banyak dimarahin terus, kata Abdullah bin Mas'ud. Sekarang kamu umumkan lagi yang sebaliknya. Kenapa? Karena Rasulullah bersabda, sesungguhnya batasan menyusui yang menjadikan dia anak susunya itu hanya 2 tahun. Di atas usia 2 tahun, itu tidak jadi darah dan daging. Udah minum aja sesukanya. Nggak masalah gitu.
That's how it ended, because it was said like that, he went home sadly. Until here, yes, we want to be a child with the mother. It's still better if I'm a brother and sister. This is my mother's child. The status is even more bitter. It hurts so much. The only thing is that it hurts everywhere. He saw his wife. He used to call him, saying, Honey, whatever the term. No, call her, Mom. Yes, son. It's not really good because of the wrong fatwa. It's been fatwaed, so I finally went home. Said that I can't do anything anymore. It's no longer husband and wife. It's really sad. Suddenly, this news was heard to a friend in Medina. He is an expert in the Quran named Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, who memorized 1 juz, which only with one hearing immediately memorized. He has a lot of knowledge, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Hearing this immediately, said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. This is a disaster. He immediately went to that country. He corrected the situation there. He immediately came to the governor. What did you fatwa? He said. What's the problem? Someone asked. She said, Mom has all kinds of things. Isn't it like that? Do you know? I think it's like that. So try being scolded by Abdullah ibn Mas'ud in front of his officials, in front of his employees, in front of many people, being scolded by Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. Now you are talking about the opposite. Why? Because the messengers of Allah said, indeed, the limit of breastfeeding that makes him a milk child is only 2 years. Over the age of 2 years, it does not become flesh and blood. After then, as he pleases, it doesn't matter.
Hanya di bawah 2 tahun yang berstatus jadi anak susuan. Di atas 2 tahun gak jadi anak susuan. Oh gitu, saya gak pernah dengar hadisnya. Makanya jangan berfatwa sembarangan. Wah, repot kan? Diundang lagi semua masyarakatnya yang udah tahu fatwa itu, termasuk orang tadi. Wahai kaum muslimin, saya salah. Nih jiwa besar nih seorang pemimpin, easy going, nggak baper. Wahai kaum muslimin, saya salah, maafkan saya. Sesungguhnya manusia bisa bersalah. Jadi ada reason gitu, cari justifikasi. Manusia juga bisa bersalah. Dan mulai sekarang jangan pernah lagi kalian menanyakan fatwa kepada saya. Tanyalah kepada orang ini, Abdullah ibnu Mas'ud. Tidak halal saya mengeluarkan fatwa selama orang ini masih hidup. Akhirnya orang yang tadi pegangan tangan lagi, ya kita jadi suami istri lagi. Jangan terlalu ngebawa perasaan. Udah kalau emang itu benar, terima aja. Akuin saja bahwa kita salah. Apa ruginya kita mengakui salah? Bukankah Allah memaafkan kesalahan? Yang rugi kalau kita nggak mengakui kesalahan, kita nggak akan pernah mengubah kesalahan kita menjadi kebaikan. Maka solusi yang diajarkan oleh para ulama tadi adalah terimalah kebaikan walaupun dari orang yang kita benci sekalipun. Mudah-mudahan kita bisa ngamalin ilmu yang sedikit ini dalam kehidupan kita sehari-hari dan menjadi orang yang lebih taat dan lebih asik dalam kehidupan bersama dengan orang-orang yang kita cintai.
Only under 2 years of age being a suckling child. Those who are over 2 years old are not breastfed. Oh, I've never heard of the hadith. That's why it's a random way of fatwa. Wow, it's troublesome to invite all people who already know the fatwa, including that person. Oh Muslim, I'm wrong. This is a big soul, a leader, easygoing, not bad. Oh Muslim, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Actually, humans can be guilty. So there is a reason even humans can also be guilty, and from now on, don't ever ask me for a fatwa. Ask this person, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. It is not halal. I issue a fatwa as long as this person is still alive. After the person finally held hands again, yes, we are husband and wife again. Don't be too emotional. If it is true, accept it. Just admit that we were wrong. What's the harm in admitting we were wrong? Note, if Allah forgives mistake, the loss is that if we don't admit our mistakes, we will never turn our mistakes into goodness. Then the solution thought by the scholars was accept kindness, even from people we had, even if hopefully we can practice this little knowledge in our daily lives and become more obedient and more ignorant people in life with other people which we love.